Hello YouTube, how are y'all today? I know it's been a while, but it's because my power went out for in a span of 2 days. It went out because of the rain and everything, the storms, but now it's okay, and now I'm ready to, get back to making videos and all that good stuff. And this video that I'm gonna make right now, I'm gonna talk about is my top 10 changes in the Walking Dead universe. Number one, top 10 changes. I'm sorry, I meant top 10 changes in the Walking Dead universe from the comic books and the TV shows. We know what they did different and everything in the TV show than they did in the comics. Number one will have to be the new people that's in the TV shows that wasn't in the comic books. We all know Daryl wasn't in the comic books, but also Meryl was in the comic books. Shasa wasn't in the comic books. Who else? Lizzie and Mika wasn't in the comic books. T-Dog was in the comic books. There's a lot of people that wasn't in the comic books, but that was on a TV show. And there's also a lot of people that also looked different than they were in a TV show. But I'm going to get to that later, though. And number two is there was people that was in the comic books that was in the TV show also. We have because Herschel actually had 7 kids in the comic books that didn't make it on a TV show. It was only Beth and Maggie and Herschel's stepson Sean and the Walking Dead TV universe. But in the comic books he actually had 7 children, and there was also Alice, I believe, from Woodbury. I joined the prison community that wasn't in a TV show. So I mean, there's just as many people that was in the comic books that wasn't in a TV show. Maybe they haven't showed up yet. I don't know. And number three will really have to be Randall and his group, and season 2 of the Walking Dead TV show. When it was on the farm, they got holed up in the bar, and Randall and his people showed up, Tony and someone else, and they have a shootout, and they left Randall there. Well, that wasn't in the comic book universe. I believe they added Randall and his group there to make the prison, not the prison scene, the farm scene, Herschel's farm scene, even more, better and more exciting. And number 4 is, I have talked about this in my other videos, will have to be Herschel. He is totally 100% different than how he was in the comic books. In the comic books, Herschel was just this, how can I say this? He was this hard-ass old man. He wasn't the pot-belly, nice faith guy he was in a TV show, which he was the same faith guy he was in the comic books. But the difference is he wasn't as friendly at all. He looked different. He was really fit for his old age in the comic books, and he was really a major hard ass. Because as soon as they got on the farm and everything and all that, he just became a hard ass. But in a TV show, he was really soft and everything. But he, like I said, Herschel in the comic books, he was just his hard ass. He was this fit guy for his age, and he definitely knew how to shoot a gun. And one of the major differences, when he was on the farm in the comic books, he actually hold up a gun to Rick's head to force them off the farm. And in the TV show, it wasn't like that, because in the TV show, Herschel automatically just had put all faith into Rick and their group. So I mean, I'm glad they made Herschel like the Dale of the comic book universe and everything. So that's really good. And number 5 would have to be I'm thinking. But it actually have to be the prison scene with the prisoners, because there was Andrew, Dexter, and everything. Which Dexter wasn't in a TV show. It was instead a guy named Big Tiny in there, but he got killed by Thomas. In which in the comic books it was actually a guy named Thomas, and he didn't kill Dexter or anything, but he actually tried to kill Herschel's twin daughters and everything. But they, like I said, in a TV show, they didn't have them. But and Thomas and the TV Walking Dead TV show, he was actually Hispanic and not white like he is in the comic books. So I mean that's a big difference, in the prison arc. And number 6, this is one of my favorite, and I'm so glad they added it in the Walking Dead TV show, and made it even more different in the comic book universe world. Was the virus that happened in season 4 at the very first episode of the virus, after infected Luke and everything from the pigs and everything they were eating. That had to be my most favorite scene ever in the Walking Dead universe, because it was just so different. All these people got infected, and it wasn't by the zombies. It was because of a virus. There was a virus going on. They had to go find medicine for all the victims that was happening to them. Even Rick got sick in that season from the virus, and it was just really different because they died, but it wasn't by the hands of people or zombies. They died by a disease, and that just made the Walking Dead TV universe even more different than it was in the comic book universe. Alright, number 7 will have to be, mostly everybody's favorites, and when I talked about number 1, about not a lot of, there wasn't, a lot of, dang, I'm getting mixed up here. There wasn't as much as, hang on, they didn't add a lot of characters as they did in the comic books as TV shows. What I meant by that is, there was a lot of characters in the TV show that wasn't in the comics. Sorry, I got mixed up here. And that's why number 7 will have to be Daryl. Daryl Dixon is one of the biggest changes in the Walking Dead TV universe from the comic book universe, is because Tyrese, during the prison arc and everything, was Rick's right-hand man in the Walking Dead comic books. But in the TV show, it is all Daryl, which how long will that last, I don't know, but right now he's been his right-hand man for a long time. Number 8 would have to be the evolution of Shane, because Shane in the Walking Dead comic books, he didn't really last that long. I mean, that's weird. He didn't really last that long. I was hoping he'll last long in the comic books, but in the TV show, he lasted all the way to almost the ending of the Walking Dead TV show. We saw him gradually change from Rick's right-hand man to just a brutal bad guy and everything. And it was just, wow, it was just really fucked up and everything. And when, since we saw that change in Shane from, season 1 to season 2, I feel like we looked more into his personality and more of his changes than we did in the comic books. And that's why I'm just really thankful. And number 9 would have to be Termius. In the comic books, there was no Termius. Even the Marauders in the comic book universe was different. And Marauders, when he raped, the Marauders were the ones that hold up Rick and try to rape Carl, and both in the comic book and the TV show. But in the TV show, they were called the Claimers, in which they got killed off during the ending of season 4. So there wasn't much of them. But like I said, my favorite changes was Termius. Well, was the cannibals at Termius and everything, because in the Hunters and the comics, like I said in all my other videos, there's only 6 of them. Only 6 of them. But in Termius, there's like almost 24 of them at Termius on a TV show. So that is a big difference from the comic book universe to the TV universe. And number 10 will have to be my favorite. It would have to be the major difference of the governor from the comic book to the TV show. I talked about this in my other videos about the comic book version governor versus TV show governor. There is major difference, because one, they look totally different. The comic book version of the governor looks kind of like Danny Trejo, which he's played in a lot of movies. But in the TV universe, he actually looks like a governor. I mean, his hair's cut, he has a smooth talking and everything. He's able to get you on his side and all that good stuff. And that is just really amazing right there, and how he was able to do that, and how he was able to manipulate, you know, not only the Woodbury but also Martinez group after they found him. And that's another difference with the governor, is in a comic book universe, he didn't kill his army. You know, he just came back and with the Woodbury and destroyed prison like Get. But in a TV show, he actually killed his army in Welcome to the Tomes at the end of season 3. And you know, in the season 4, unlike the governor in the comic book universe, the governor in the TV show tried to have, you know, keep his humanity and everything, try to change until he found Martinez group. You know, he was with his new family, Tara and Lily and her daughter and everything. But when he found Martinez, and Martinez wanted him to, you know, be a co-leader with the group, that's when the governor just lost it, killed Martinez, and tried to take over the prison again. And which this time he kind of succeeded, but he didn't, because they all died. And another thing is in the comic book universe, the governor is way more brutal. He is weaker, by all means he is weaker, because he got his ass beat by Michonne in the comic book universe, and there was no physical altercation with Rick and everything, but he was just more brutal. You know, he actually admitted to cannibalism in the comic books, and the tortures was just way more brutal in the comic books, which I know they wouldn't be able to show a lot of the tortures in the TV show. That's probably the reason they made a drastic change. But if you read the comics with the governor in it, and how he tortured Michonne and raped her and everything, it was just really brutal, and will never be shown in a TV show. That's just how brutal it was. But that's going to be all for right now. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, because I just love making videos. So, you know, like I said before, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Alright, bye-bye.